Thomas, it's up for grabs now. Thomas.
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira.
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it.
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry.
Champions.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Arsenal Lounge. I'm Lavanja. This is Shaheen. We've seen the game. Let's just get in. Let's get on with it. Shaheen, how you doing, mate? Hope you guys all right in there. Hard code. Where the fuck is? Oh my god, not this geezer again. How you doing, everyone? Sorry, I'm snapping out of it. I mean, I was in just this depressive mode. Let's try again. This is the Arsenal Lounge. I'm Levangelist Shaheen. We're doing it from here today. We decided to we wanted to do it from together, see if we can bounce off each other a bit. Yes, do something a bit different. And we tried a little watch along before it as well, so that was quite cool. But thanks for joining us so far. Awful result for us today. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Please let us know. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. Hit the like buttons. Let's get this show on the road. Let's hear your thoughts. Shaheen, awful result. London derby, North London derby, the big one for us. We thought we were going to come up with something. What's your thoughts, mate?
First, hi everybody in the chat as well. Look, I don't think we can blame the manager today. The only thing I can blame Arteta for is Thomas Partey. If he's not fit, fully fit, why is he starting? Apart from that, I thought he picked a good team. It was not a bad. We didn't get battered by Spurs. You know, second half we were very dominant. The only problem I have is we're not doing anything with the ball. We've put in so many crosses. Why? I don't know. We don't have a Giroud type striker up front. We don't have a header. Aubameyang is not the type of a striker that is going to head the ball in. And we're just putting the crosses. Dyer and Toby Alderweireld, they were quite happy just to stand there, headed the ball away every time it's coming. And there's no plan B. It's fucking crosses after another, to no avail. Nothing. There's no result. No, man, I'm pissed off. And before the game, at 1 o'clock, I was on Twitter and I see Hector Bellerin retweeting shit on Twitter. And I even put a comment on there. Said, are you not supposed to be fucking concentrating on the game? And my man can't even take a fucking foul throw. How many times is he going to do a foul throw and then play the next game? He's a fucking right back in the Premier League, can't even do. How many right backs in the Premier League can't do a throw in? No, man, it's a piss take, bruv. I'm not having that, man. We lost today because of individual mistakes. Bellerin, Holding. Yeah. Thomas Partey also, I have to say, if you're injured, sit the fuck down in the pitch. Don't walk off and tell Arteta, I'm injured, I can't play.
I think that's a bit harsh.
No, man, it's not harsh.
No.
It's not harsh. If you're injured, you sit down. You're told as a footballer, if you're injured, you sit down.
I think worst is the fact that he played. Why is he playing?
That's to start with. But I'm talking about fit. He's injured, we're attacking, and he's walking off to speak to Arteta to tell him that he's injured. What is that?
But he wasn't down. No, he tried to run back, didn't he? And he got
what from side. Why? Yeah. It's frustrating, and we lost, as I said, because of individual errors. For the first goal, Bellerin, you know what Son is. He's been doing that for 2 fucking seasons. He's gonna put it on the other foot, take a shot. You know that. So try to guide him away. But no, you're just backing up, letting him do his. Poor. That is poor defensive mistake. Yeah, Bellerin as well, all over the place. Willian, nothing offer. Aubameyang, poor. The only 2 players today that had something to offer were Saka and Lacazette. Apart from that, everybody else were average. I'm done.
You sure? Can I get a word in there?
For now, I'm done. I'm pissed off.
Listen, I need to laugh because if I'm not going to laugh, I'm going to cry. It was shit. Listen, the worst thing for me is that it's a North London derby, right? We've been playing shit anyway. The worst thing for me is the defensive errors. They didn't even have to really break us open. If you look at the stats, We've had more possession. We've had 32 crosses, and let's be honest, how many of those crosses were quality? We're terrible at crossing. I don't know what it is. But on top of that, we don't have the right type of players who are going to be there for those types of crosses. Aubameyang is not someone who's going to get his head to it. Lacazette will try, and he was one of the most impressive for me. But the defense holding crucial moment moves, as you rightly said, moves. He backs away from Son. Son goes at him, and then he takes it. He goes left and lets him come in, cutting on his right and curl it in. And whilst even worse, Bellerin, who was out of position as well, comes in behind to cover him and doesn't even cover that spot. That's poor, man. You put it crossing once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, 15 times. It's not working. Change it. I saw a snap there. We're putting 35 crosses in. For what? And then we did nothing. We're just putting a cross in, Dyer heading it out, Alderweireld heading it out. Quite confident. Lloris didn't really make any fucking saves. Can you not hear us? Can you not hear us? Apparently they can't hear us. 1 second. Can you hear us now? Sound problem. Yeah, we seem to have a technical hitch. We're doing it from this location here, not the normal location from where I am. So can you hear me now? Check your volume. Turn your volume up.
It is up.
Volume's too low. 1 second.
Yeah, no. You can hear us now, yeah?
Yeah? Thank you, guys. Thanks for that. Thanks for letting us know, because we were just rabbiting on and no one could actually hear what we were saying. Right, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so look. Defensive issues. That's the problem, isn't it? Let's be honest. Holding let us down in crucial moments. Bellerin kept letting us down in crucial moments. The same two, they attacked that right-hand side.
Everything came through right-hand side. And this is what I was saying earlier when the sound went off. You put in too many crosses in. There's no plan B. Look, see, this is what I'm talking about, Thomas Partey. Look, you see where he is?
Yeah, but he's trying to come back on.
Sit down. He's pushed. Sit down in the middle of the pitch.
Bellerin is nowhere, right?
Anyway,
Willian's nowhere.
You see, put crosses after crosses after crosses. It doesn't work. Change it. There's no plan B. There's nothing. And you know what? At the beginning, I think it was a good team. He picked a good team. I was happy with Lacazette was playing and his position. But at the end of the day, we lost because of individual defensive mistakes. And you know, I don't know, man. I don't know how many times this fucking Bellerin is gonna do. How can you? I'm sure there is this thing in a team that you can't be on social media and all these things before the game. My man is tweeting fucking 3 hours before the game about this rainbow laces and all that. Concentrate on the game, man.
Look, the problem for me now is we've made this even worse. We've made this even worse now because we brought in Partey because our midfield's not strong enough, right? He got injured. He was clearly on the road to rehab. He was doing all right, but we've rushed him back. And now he's out for 2 or 3 months. This midfield, we've seen what it's like with Xhaka and Ceballos. It's not strong enough. I personally would have gone in with Ainsley Maitland-Niles in midfield over Xhaka. That's how bad it is. But, you know, we knew that he was going to be dropping too deep. The minute Partey went off that game, even though we dominated possession, all he did was go sideways and sideways and sideways. So crosses coming in from left, right and centre for who? So the question is, what now? What are our expectations? We're 16th? What are we going to do? How is this affecting Arteta? What do you think is going to happen?
They're not gonna. This is not. Look, as I said, this is not really on the manager today. I don't think he picked the best team he could have picked. I think, right? And he put. You know, you can question whether you should have played Maitland-Niles and Bellerin and this and that. But I think the team he picked was okay. You can't account for players making silly mistakes like that. Holding, you know what Sonny's gonna do? Fucking just show him out, man. Show him fucking on the side. Going forward, it looked better today because Lacazette was putting a bit of physicality up there. He was challenging. It was a little bit better. Aubameyang was still a little bit non-existent. Willian didn't really do much. How many fucking crosses and corners Willian is going to take? And he's poor. He's poor. He's poor. If you're going to put crosses in, if that's how you're going to go, then at least put decent fucking crosses in.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, what do you guys think in the chat? Let's have a look. Let's scroll through some and see what people are saying. So we've got who we've got here. Michael Thompson, Arteta ASAP out. Michael Thomas, Dyer looked like Maldini, disgraceful. Aurier like Cafu, Son like Messi. Yeah, you're right. We made him look. You know what? We kept him quite quiet most of the time, possession-wise. But when it really mattered, they had that quality, didn't they? Victor Olai. I hope I'm saying your name right, bro. I've seen you be making some comments on a little bit earlier. Remember when I came on and said, yes, I do. Remember when I came on and said Arteta has not improved us defensively. We're just committing men behind the ball. That is not a defensive structure. Victor, I hear what you're saying. However, is Arteta doing, what can he do with the players that he has? Tom Gooner, who wasn't terrible, but created fuck all with the possession we had. Yeah, I agree. I probably agree with you there. I think some of the players were terrible. I'm going to have to say, to be honest with you. So I mean, look, I can see the general consensus is some are saying we weren't that bad and lack creativity. The overall consensus is we lack creativity. That's for sure. Flo. Keep stomaching Arteta, boys. I'm hearing his accent in my head now. Do you know that accent? Should I try it? Keep stomaching Arteta, boys. Everyone, I can't do the rest. Everyone that wants to give the clown time deserve everything that's happening under his management. Well, harsh, man, harsh. Check WhatsApp. Africa, we can't do this. We can't get you on because we're doing it from one place at the moment. So we're going to have to just do this as is at the moment, but check my message later. So, Shaheen, what happens now?
Nothing. We'll just have to dust ourselves and move forward. There's nothing we can do.
Do you know there's going to be a backlash, right, with Arteta?
Yeah, there can be backlash all we want. At the end of the day, we as fans, we're not going to pull the trigger on him. The board and the owners are going to pull the trigger on him. And apparently, from what we're hearing, they are fully committed to this Arteta project. Whatever the Arteta project is, I don't fucking know, because that is questionable on its own. Are they going to back him in January? Probably not. Are they going to spend the money that needs to be spent? Look, everybody can see today, right? There is a problem of quality in this team, right? We're toothless going forward. There is no creativity. We're not going to bring Ozil back. So we're going to have to address this creativity issue, and I don't think we're going to see Thomas Partey for another 1 or 2 months at least. So it doesn't look good.
So now, if we do address the issue of creativity, they're still going to have either Xhaka or El Neni behind them. That's what we're seeing. That's the situation.
Yeah, right? But to be honest with you, I think I'm surprised. Look, El Neni, he played well against Man United. Whatever you guys think of him, he played well against Man United. I'm surprised he didn't play well together. If we're risking Thomas Partey, El Neni at least played. El Neni's problem was not a muscular problem. He tested positive for COVID, and then he came back. So it was not. He's not coming back from injury. He can just come in. I think he could have possibly maybe contributed more than Xhaka today, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Pepe, maybe he would have done better than Willian today, but he's suspended. Willian didn't really do much.
See, the thing
Aubameyang was poor.
They allowed us to have the ball, though, didn't they?
Yeah,
we saw what Mourinho was doing. I mean, a few of you have said this in here. We were going, we're doing really well. We've got the ball, but he didn't feel that we had enough creativity-wise to break them down. So he just said, you know what? Let them have it. Don't give them the space in behind. That's the only way they can hurt us. And he decided, let them have it. They'll give us a couple of chances and we'll take them. And that's exactly what they did. But people say about Arteta and whatever, you can say what you want about Arteta, but it's individuals letting him down. That bit of defending there, that schoolboy defending, we also have to remember he's inherited this team. Now, I'm not saying that he's right for the job or he's not right for the job. However, we cannot say that Arteta putting Holding in to play centre-back is in control of him then deciding to run inexplicably backwards, let the guy run at him, then turn to his right, to his left, let Son cut in onto his right. And then on top of that, Bellerin, you can't account for that either. Bellerin, well, this is one thing I will say, you guys might have a point on. Bellerin has been underperforming for months, in my opinion. Maitland-Niles, every time he's called upon, look what he does. So the one area I will have to have a question mark with Arteta in particular is there's certain players that keep letting him down and he keeps playing them. No?
Yeah, well, obviously he doesn't have, I don't understand why we fucking bought Cedric.
Well, if you rate him Saliba, why buy Saliba if he's not ready to get in that team?
It's at 30 million, and this Cedric, you say, was for fucking free. It's 30 million pounds spent on Saliba, can't get a game. Rob Holding makes. Would Saliba have done better than Rob Holding today? The answer to that is I don't know because we've never seen Saliba.
He must be able to. He can't be that bad.
Look, at least Cedric can take a fucking throw in. Bellerin is just look.
That's Rob Holding. What is that?
Rob Holding for the first goal as a defender. When your son is coming at you, you try to show him out, show him wide, so you drive him away from the goal because you know what he's doing, and he just fell into that. Like, have you not fucking seen Son play football in the past 2 seasons?
Listen. The fact of the matter is this: we don't have the personnel. Okay, you guys, the guys in here, like, I'm really interested to know this, by the way. I mean, I know some of you, like Flo and a few others, you're definitely Arteta out, and you're saying this is his doing, right? The other guys here are on the other camp, I think, which is, look, it's not his fault. We need to get in the right personnel. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. But the guys that think Arteta out, who would you have played today? Who would have started for you, and what could you have done different? I'd be interested in finding out because you've got opinions as to the fact that whether he's good enough or not. But what should he have done differently? I'd love to hear it, just for the sake. There's a few of you saying a few. Let's have a look here. EBA, or is it EBAH? EBA. The only thing you can blame Arteta for is giving these players a chance after chance. Yeah, I agree with that, 100%. That's one thing I will say is definitely a question mark for me. There's certain players like Maitland-Niles that should be getting more game time. They don't. And they hardly ever do let us down. Flo, it's harder to get the owner out. We as fans only care what's happening on the pitch. Results matter, so he needs to go. Okay, Flo, hear that. So you get rid of him, but you got the same guys above him. Who do you replace him with? I'd love to find out. Send me a message. Let me know. Just put it in the chat. Tom Gooner, Bellerin just isn't good enough. Bellerin is not good enough. Let's name players in your opinions that aren't good enough. Xhaka is not good enough. Ceballos is not good enough. Holding is not good enough.
Willian is not good enough.
Not good enough. How many more players do we want to name that are not good enough? Like, we could go through the list. The younger lads, I don't believe Nelson. You can play him as many times as you want. I'm not confident in Nelson.
So today, you bring down, you're 2-0 down, you're looking at your bench. Who am I going to bring on to make a difference? There's nobody. And it brings on Eddie Nketiah, who did fuck all.
I would have definitely, you know what? I know it was only sort of 3 games after, but I still would have gone with Maitland-Niles. He knows what it is to be a North London derby. He's a proper, he's a young lad from Hale End. He's a Hale End boy. He's going to want to win that. I would have preferred him in midfield than Xhaka.
Yeah, I think.
Or instead of Bellerin.
You know what? I think in the January, you're looking at Bellerin, maybe you can raise some funds by selling him, man. And then get somebody, and then use Ainsley and Cedric the rest of the season on that position. and then just invest the money, and in the summer go and buy a proper right back, because Bellerin has been at Arsenal Football Club for too long. Season after season, he's been given a chance and nothing has happened. It's not really happening. Maybe he can go in Spain or France or somewhere, PSG, and maybe he will do well there. But in one season, you can't have fucking 4 or 5 foul throw. That is poor. Poor.
How many has he had? It's a joke. And the thing is as well, he's arrogant enough to turn around and moan about it as well, like he's done nothing wrong. Like,
as far as I'm concerned, he's done. He needs to fuck off.
No, but do you know what? The fact for me is he keeps getting caught out of position. He gets caught out of position. There was another time the ball was played over the top. He was caught out of position. So he's just not cutting it. But then, I'm asking you, who?
Do you know why he's getting? I'll tell you something with Bellerin, yeah? So he's bombing forward, right, as he should be doing.
Yeah.
Okay? The problem is his final ball is so poor that he normally gives it away, and once he does give the ball away, then he's caught out of position. So that's the problem with Bellerin. His final ball is poor.
Oh, he's crossing. Our crossing. What do you lot think about crossing? Let's have a look what else. Psycho vibes. Whether he plays experienced players or youth players, Arteta will get blamed. He follows that up with no manager, top-class manager will come into Arsenal without full backing, and the board have been proven not to back their managers. So yeah, that's where I am. 100% Lev. I would have put AMN, this is from Tom Gurner, I would have put AMN in for Xhaka in this game, especially after how well he played on Thursday. Xhaka offered nothing. Rohan, how you doing, bro? Bellerin is Sunday League level footballer. Yeah, 100%. Well, you know what? When I played in even Sunday League, if you do a foul throw, everyone rips the arse out. So I don't know how he gets away with it week in, week out. So what next, guys? What do you think we have to do? What are we going to do now that Partey's not going to be around? Are we going to replace him? Are we going to do something about it in January? Don't be surprised if you see Jack Wilshere getting that little contract, pay as you play, coming up soon. You heard it here first. I wouldn't be surprised. What do you reckon?
If Jack Wilshere was playing today, he probably would have put more fight and fucking Ceballos did in them. Or I don't know, man. The way things are at Arsenal right now, it doesn't look good. You've got a manager that is inexperienced. You've got a board that is inexperienced. Director of football inexperienced. Team is not performing. Poor result. We've got what? Burnley, Southampton, Everton. Right? I would, if I don't know, man. Like Burnley, Southampton, Everton are teams. If we don't get result against these 3 teams, yeah, we're in a relegation battle. Because then we lost to the mid teams, top teams, and the bottom teams.
Look, it's not going to be as bad. Let's be honest. It's not going to be relegation. Right?
You say that if he gets what 3 points out of the next 3 games, what do you think Arsenal will be?
So what do you suggest they do?
That's by Christmas. These 3 games, right? So
this is why I don't like doing it in the same place. You started hitting me already.
No. By Christmas,
yeah,
right? If Arsenal, I don't know, 17th, 18th,
yeah.
Which if he gets 3 points out of the next 3 games, Everton is not going to be easy. Southampton, they're on a good run of form. And Burnley, with the way things are, if we go there to Burnley or they can't, I don't know if it's home or away, they keep crossing the ball in. Burnley defenders, they will love it all day long. They'll just head it away. This Tarkovsky and the other guy.
What is this new thing we've developed that we've decided to just whack loads of crosses in?
We've never been a crossing team. I don't know where.
We don't even have the players for it. Like, what you got Giroud up?
I remember when Giroud was playing, we were crying out for Bellerin to cross it in for
and he wouldn't.
Exactly. Now that you got Aubameyang, who's not really a header of the ball, like a zip too short, 35 crosses a game. It doesn't make sense.
One.
Doesn't make sense.
Until no one. And it never clears the first man. Ever. So what are we going to do now? What does Arteta do next? What does the board do? The fans, there's going to be a massive load of fans that are going to be on his case now. No game is easy right now. Yeah, no game's easy right now, Tom. 100%.
Well, something needs to change because same thing, we've been doing the same thing and it's going to give us the same result, which is not good enough. So something needs to change.
Right, well, look, moving to the next situation, which is the transfer window.
I don't even want to be fucking until January, man. I don't even want to talk about transfer window now.
But we have to. It's not far away. There's nothing else we can do right now. And in between that, do they sack Arteta? Like, there's going to be so much pressure on it.
And I'm going to sack him, man. This needs to get a lot worse for them to sack.
Bro, hold on. Have we ever known of a team, an Arsenal team in my lifetime, unless it was like the first 2 or 3 games of the season, yeah? Have you ever known of an Arsenal team to be 16th? Potentially.
Yeah, well, that's what it is now.
So, like, what? Do you know what? I will have I'm going to play devil's advocate here, yeah? Because I always say back the manager, etc., right? But for those guys that are saying Arteta out, like the Flows of this world and whoever else are saying it, they are right to ask the question, when is it too bad or bad enough for them to have to let someone go? It's not Burnley, with all due respect to them, or a team that maybe you should be thinking there would be down there. And manager, if he keeps them up, he's done a good enough job on a low budget, let's keep him on. Question is, how bad does it have to be for a manager to get sacked at Arsenal?
The problem is you've got an experienced board who's dealing with this. And if Arteta is sacked, I think Edu and Vinay, they need to be sacked with him. And the people who need to sack Arteta are Edu and Vinay. They're not going to sack him now. Unless they back him unless they bring in 2 or 3 proper players in January. You know, next 5 or 6 games, it's going to be crucial for Arteta. He's under pressure. Look, but again, as I said today, I can't blame Arteta for today's loss. He picked a decent team who went in there. Individual mistakes cost us the game.
But but then we know there's going to be a lot of people blaming Arteta for this.
Can't really blame Arteta for today's loss.
I have still asked you, what would anyone have done any different if once Arteta out? And I've not really had anyone say anything, to be honest with you. So it's very difficult to hear from people Arteta out, but then not actually see any evidence of what he could have done differently. I mean, I personally wouldn't have started Xhaka.
Look, there's a lot of options we can say Maitland-Niles, this, that, but you know, Maitland-Niles all season, he hasn't played in a centre mid position except Thursday. And then out of a sudden, we're going to drop him on the North London Derby centre mid.
Yeah, but listen, he's a CDM. In the youth, I believe he was a CDM or a central midfielder. I'm sure he was. So I don't understand why it wasn't thought of before. It's not. I'm a fan. You're a fan. I thought of it a long time ago. Why wasn't he given a chance? Obviously, they don't think he's good enough. But then every time I see him play, he convinces me he's good enough. Gigi, the bald boys, the board. That's what Gigi's saying. I think.
Well, we've been saying the board for the past 1 or 2 months, man. It's not Arteta. You know, he didn't give himself the job. Somebody at board level thought this guy is good enough to come in and do a job. Yeah.
And the whole thing is look at what's forget that. We're going back to the performance. Aubameyang nowhere. Aubameyang was absolutely nowhere. He got buoyed by Dyer, and you saw Xhaka getting buoyed off by their players as well. It's just hard.
Yeah, but you know, you've got to. You know, Aubameyang is not an Olivier Giroud type player. You know, you putting the crosses in for Aubameyang, he's not going to do nothing with the crosses. Aubameyang needs through balls. When he was at Dortmund, he was playing. They were putting the ball through. Aubameyang would run to it first time, boom, in. What we're doing with crossing.
Hold on. There's something not right though, because this squad last season he did get a lot of goals. I'm not saying he didn't have a great run of form.
There was more creativity last squad or last season.
With who? Who was a more creative aspect?
There was more. The team was creating better.
Brazilian. He should. Aquatic Almighty. What was that he saying? He should shame for his own passport as a Brazilian. Oh, is he talking about Willian? Yeah, Willian. Yeah. I mean, look, I've heard from some people that Willian, from some Chelsea fans, that Willian was brilliant last season, but he must just blow hot and cold. I don't know, but he's been awful for us. The Aubameyang does look lost. Tom's saying 100% he does. He looks lost. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, guys, I mean, we're going to keep it short and sweet today because I'm not in a good mood. Not going to lie about it. So,
we were really fired up when I saw the team. I thought, it's a good team. I thought maybe we can offer something. Maybe we can do something today. But now, nothing. I'm deflated because it hurts even more when you're losing because of individual mistakes. If we went to Lane and we got battered, they turned us over, you think, oh, you know what, they were the better team today. They were not the better team today. Second half, we dominated the game. We just lost today because of lack of quality on our defense, and that's all there is. And a bit of streetwise, because I still stand by my point. Thomas Partey, if you're injured, sit down, my brother. Sit down. Don't walk in the middle of a game. Walk to the manager and tell him, oh, I've got a problem on my thigh. I need to come off.
I don't understand why you're so fixated with that, man.
Because he left. There was nothing in the middle of the pitch, and they attacked. And they if he can run back, right, to try to put it, he could have just stand in the middle of the pitch, done that to the bench. You think that's what they did? But do you think that's acceptable? Stop. No. Do you think that's acceptable?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's acceptable, but he must have thought that he's.
Well, he thought wrong for a fucking £45 million player.
So what do you want him to do? Sit down and then hope that they blew the whistle?
No, you sit down. You tell people I'm injured, right? But you sign to you don't walk all the way to the sideline and tell the manager I'm injured, take me off. And then when they're attacking, Arteta is pushing him to run back. I told you I don't like being in this room because you can hit me. Yeah, well, hold on. You said something earlier, right? Now you woken me up a little bit, right? You said something earlier. You said we were the better team. They were not. We were the better team, but we just made individual mistakes. I will say this: we may have been the better team on the day statistically, but they were a team. They were a team. We weren't. They went for a little bit of brilliance from somewhere or wherever, but they had a game plan. They knew exactly what they were doing. Their plan was to come in, sit back, draw us. They knew our right-hand side is our weakness. So Bellerin and what's his name, Willian, they were identified as a weak link, and both goals came from that right-hand side.
What do you guys think? That right-hand side was dead. Do you know what? I've been thinking for the last 4 or 5 weeks our right-hand side has been sort of a focus point for our opposition.
Hold on, one second. Go on, guys. I just want to address something here. You see, don't play Partey. I'm not saying Partey is at fault, right, for the goals. It's his fault because we conceded. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're injured in the middle whilst the game is happening, don't start walking to the manager and tell him I'm injured. Just signal that you need change and sit down. Sit down. I don't understand. The fixation with that play. Because if he sat down, maybe that pattern of play would not have happened. Maybe somebody would have kicked the ball out, or if he was fit enough, still had a little bit. It wasn't a head injury or anything. They would have stopped it. They would have kept the ball. If he would have sat down, maybe they would have kicked the ball out. I'm just saying, if he didn't leave that center of midfield, right, he still would have been there. Maybe he could have contributed, 20%. Maybe what happened would not have happened. Maybe it still would have happened. But I just don't think for a player to just in the middle of a play to go to the bench and start speaking to them. That is
a bigger issue for me is why he played. Because I said to you at the very halfway through the first half, do you know when he done that amazing little run and he was like, oh my God, that was amazing. I could see that he wasn't moving freely. He didn't look like himself. He was playing because he didn't want to miss that derby, and I think also they didn't want to lose the derby.
As I said earlier, the only thing that Arteta can be blamed is playing Thomas Partey. If he's not fully fit, don't play him. Don't risk him, because you risk him, he give you so half a game, And now he's out for 2 months.
I think it's not just that. I think he should be questioned for playing Bellerin. He should be questioned for continually playing players that aren't performing and questioned for not playing certain players.
Yeah, I don't
understand why he picks on some players and decides not to play them regardless. I mean, Martinelli's another example. Martinelli had a good little run and then he dropped him. He scored goals and then he dropped him for about 3 games running, if you remember. He's done it with that Maitland Niles. He has a great game, drops in. But then he has other players like Xhaka and Bellerin who keeps playing them. And Willian. So why?
I don't know, man. He's got to answer the question, not me. I don't know what you say to if you go to the dressing room, what do you say to Hector Bellerin now? How many times are you going to get a fucking foul for? Rob Holding. How many times have you seen Son come down on the left, come down on the side, do a little half turn, take a shot? How many goals has he scored like this? And he's coming at you. You know what he's going to do. You're just backing off. You're just letting him do what he wants to do. That's not defending.
Yeah, but Bellerin as well. He came back and he didn't cover him. He filled the gap where it was, and then he also went.
Yeah, because Rob Holding has come out to deal with him. So Bellerin has gone to cover him.
Yeah, so then Sergio Ground to cover that gap.
Right, so then Rob Holding, he hasn't really done it for you. He's just backing off. He's letting Son do what he wants to do.
The whole point I don't understand, he made this 20-yard run back after cocking it up and not being in position. And then even when he got behind Holding, he still decided to leave the gap open that he was meant to be covering. So he's just a brainless footballer for me. He's technically not good enough. His passing is always astray. His crossing is awful. And his defending, his positional sense is awful. He's not good enough. It's as simple as that. Bellerin is not good enough.
The only player that showed, the 2 players, I think that they showed fight and desire today was Lacazette and Saka.
Do you know what? Yes, Lacazette has to get a mention, 100%. Lacazette was brilliant. For me, Lacazette actually showed some fight today. What do you guys think? Lacazette. That is a major point. I should have remembered that. Lacazette was actually one of the better players. He was fighting for everything. But anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else to say, man. It's like,
yeah, we just thought we'd come on, just do a little quick thing, just share our feelings with you guys. We might do something proper tomorrow for a reaction where we get a few people
it
involved.
might be something special tomorrow.
Well, we don't. Yeah, we might be doing something. We're still waiting for some confirmations. But anyway, I know it's disappointing for all Arsenal fans. Lacazette should be made captain. Yeah, well, he's not going to play in old school, Gunnar. He's not going to play.
Yeah, Gigi as well said the same thing. And thanks for your kind words earlier, Gigi. Thanks, man.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. What we can do, man, we can just dust ourselves down and move on. Burnley, that's the next. Hopefully, they can put it right and we've got 3 games. If they get 9 points out of that, things might look a lot better. We can just hope, and then and hopefully they can get some points and do us proud. Anything else you want to say left to end things?
I don't know what else to say, guys. I really don't. I just want us to get back to where we were. How that happens, I really don't care. You know, I'm not here judging or blaming anybody. I just want this club back where it should be. In 16th position has got me seriously doubting my own self, in the sense of, where do you draw the line as to where a manager goes? I don't want him to go. I think he needs the time, but it's a conundrum for me. So that's all I'm going to say right now. I'm a bit torn now. So I'm going to think about it. We'll be on tomorrow night, and then we'll have Real Talk Wednesday. And Dom Levanja, Shaheen, we're out of here. Going to go and, I don't know, drown my sorrows.
Good evening,
Good evening, guys. Yeah.